Stop whatever you're doing right now. Virgo, the fact that you found this message today is not the algorithm guessing your preferences, but the exact timing of your cycle bringing you here. I can feel the heavy weight you have been carrying in silence, the exhaustion of fighting so hard and seeing things freeze at the finish line. If you click away now, you might let this final resistance win, but if you stay, I will reveal exactly why the universe is pushing you so hard, right before everything pays off. You are the Virgo who always gets stuck in the final stretch, working flawlessly, only to watch the reward slip away at the last second, feeling drained and deeply frustrated. You might think that the sudden obstacles and exhaustion you are feeling right now are signs that you are on the wrong path or that it's just your typical bad luck. But the spiritual truth is that this resistance is an invisible wall of thorns that grows thickest right in front of the treasure. It only pricks those who are inches away from the gold, proving how close the victory truly is. You will understand why things have been stalling at the very last moment. You will discover who or what is actually draining your energy when you get close to your goals. You will learn how to identify the invisible siege of envy around you. You will receive the exact spiritual tool to cut this heavy energy and claim your payoff. And before this message closes, I will say a specific sentence about your life that you will carry with you for the next few months. Have you ever felt that there is a strange, suffocating heaviness that settles over your life, specifically when things are finally about to pay off, as if something inside you were trying to convince you that this sudden exhaustion is just your own weakness and that you simply don't deserve the victory? And what if this sudden sequence of last-minute delays and unexplainable fatigue is not a stroke of bad luck, but a sign that the universe is trying to show you the spiritual envy that is actively blocking your final step? Because while many simply blame the economy or their own bad luck, few realize that every stalled project can carry a hidden jealous gaze, a silent energetic drain, and an invisible siege that desperately needs to be cut. But what if the massive turnaround you're waiting for is hidden inside this revelation you haven't been able to apply yet? Now think with me. Why does everything freeze in my life exactly when it is about to work out? Perhaps every door that slammed shut at the 11th hour, every compliment that left a bitter taste in your mouth, every flawless effort that went completely unnoticed, every wave of heavy energy after sharing good news, and this constant draining sensation of running a race with weights tied to your ankles were actually signs of a spiritual envy that you have ignored for far too long. It was looking for answers to this that I found this digital book called The Great Secret Behind the Spiritual Envy Against Virgo. This book is not just a read, it is a revelation created for Virgos who want to understand exactly where this heavy resistance comes from. Right before you win, cut the invisible cords of spiritual envy and silent sabotage, shield your energy field, so you can finally receive your payoff without fear of being seen. Many Virgos already feel that they need to protect themselves from this energy that surrounds them, but they still haven't made the decision to download the digital book. Download it right now. It is available in the first pinned comment. But pay attention. Access could go offline at any moment. It reveals reflections, hidden signs, and directions that can transform everything. Do not wait for one more massive victory to slip through your fingers at the last second before you decide to shield your energy. Click now, download your copy, and discover why the intense envy trying to delay your victory might be the exact proof that the universe has prepared a payoff far too massive to go unnoticed. If this very first word has already touched something deep inside you, write, "My victory is shielded down below." Not for me, but because another Virgo who is exactly where you were a year ago needs this message to find them tonight. This path of protection has a map, and it is already within your reach, waiting for you in the first pinned comment. I will return to it shortly, but first we need to clear the field. And if for some reason you are not interested or cannot acquire the digital book right now, there is still another door open for you. I do not receive a single penny for any of these messages that I deliver here every day. Nothing at all. And yet, they keep coming out, every single day, for you and for every Virgo who still needs to be reached. If at any moment your heart wants to give back a little of what you received, there is a voluntary donation link open in the first pinned comment right below the book. Any amount that fits in your hand today. any amount that your heart points to. This is what keeps this channel standing. This is what makes the next message reach another Virgo tomorrow, exactly as it reached you today. I will wait for you there, Virgo. I haven't even told you the most important part yet. There are 4 signs that this invisible siege is already acting upon you, and you are going to recognize at least one of them. I want you to slow down for a second. We are about to enter a space that requires your complete presence. You have been carrying a weight that doesn't belong to you, trying to rationalize it with logic, schedules, and everyday stress, but the truth is vibrating right beneath the surface. Notice how your body reacts to what I am about to say now. There are specific signs that this invisible siege is already acting upon you, bleeding into your daily routine and disguising itself as mere coincidence. These are not random events, Virgo. They are the exact pressure points where the unseen envy is trying to breach your energetic field right before your massive breakthrough. The first sign is that inexplicable heaviness in your neck and shoulders right after a seemingly normal conversation over coffee at 3 p.m. You know exactly what I am talking about. Someone smiled at you. They said all the right words, they even praised your recent progress, but their energy felt completely off, leaving you drained the moment they walked away. You called it an unexplained physical exhaustion. The universe called it an energetic drain from a heavy gaze. The second sign is the sudden technical glitch or bureaucratic delay on a project you had perfectly organized, freezing everything just hours before the deadline. For some of you, this showed up as a crucial email that mysteriously got lost right when a major deal was closing. For others, it was an unexpected financial hurdle that appeared out of nowhere just as you were about to step into a new level of stability. You called it your typical bad luck at the finish line. The universe called it a spiritual siege, trying to delay your harvest. The third sign is the strange instinct to hide your good news, swallowing your excitement at the dinner table, because the room's atmosphere suddenly felt cold. You were about to share a victory, a promotion, or a spark of joy, but an invisible hand made you hold your tongue, whispering that if nobody knows, nobody can ruin it. You called it your own irrational paranoia. The universe called it your sharp spiritual perception, sensing hidden envy. And the fourth sign is that deep, bone-crushing fatigue that hits you the moment you wake up, on a day when you were supposed to take a major step forward. You went to sleep motivated, organized, and prepared, but the next morning, it felt as if you had fought a war in your dreams. The resistance wasn't physical. It was an energetic block actively trying to keep you anchored in place. You called it just another wave of burnout. The universe called it the heavy weight of an unspoken jealousy, desperately trying to hold you down. These signs have a common origin, and it has a name. But before the name, you need something else. There is a path of true protection, and I am going to open it right now, before the name, before the final word. Because anyone carrying the weight of this unseen siege needs absolute relief before receiving the revelation. Stay. And it is exactly here that the path of protection opens. The signs that just resonated with you didn't happen by chance, Virgo. That sudden icy weight dropping onto your shoulders right when you are inches away from the finish line is not your imagination, and it is certainly not a physical weakness. It is the palpable weight of the siege. It operates exactly as if a cold, silent whisper were trying to convince you that this sudden exhaustion is simply your own inadequacy, whispering that perhaps you are not meant to receive the victory you have worked so hard to build. But what if this sequence of last-minute delays and unexplainable fatigue is not an endless stroke of bad luck, but the universe forcefully showing you the spiritual envy that is actively blocking your final step? You have spent years rationalizing the resistance. You told yourself you just needed to be stronger. But the spiritual reality is that you are walking through an energetic minefield. I have seen Virgos who were exactly where you are right now. I have watched them build incredible foundations, pouring their soul into every meticulous detail, sacrificing their own rest, only to watch the reward slip away at the last second. They blamed their own efforts. They thought they just needed to work a little harder, sleep a little less, and push through the exhaustion. But the truth is, what they needed wasn't more effort. They needed to shield their energy before taking the final step. Because when they finally stopped letting the unseen envy drain their harvest, everything shifted. They realized that their perfectionism was being weaponized against them by an invisible field of unspoken jealousy. The sudden delays right before the deadline, the relationships that suddenly turned cold when you started succeeding, the undeniable feeling of being quietly observed by eyes that don't wish you well. It was looking for answers to this that I found this digital book called The Great Secret Behind the Spiritual Envy Against Virgo. This is not just a collection of comforting words, it is a precise energetic blueprint designed for Virgos who need to understand exactly where this heavy resistance comes from right before you win, cut the invisible cords of spiritual envy and silent sabotage, shield your energy field, so you can finally receive your payoff without fear of being seen. You have to realize that this unseen resistance is not a sign of your failure. It is the ultimate proof of your imminent success. The resistance of the siege is always strongest right before the breakthrough. Spiritual envy only attacks the light that is about to outshine it, and this cosmic window of revelation will not wait forever. This specific cycle only opens this door once, urging you to claim your protection before the next phase begins. Each passing day without this path is another opportunity for the unseen siege to drain your energy. Each unshielded victory is another target for the unspoken jealousy that surrounds you. Each massive step forward without cutting these cords is another heavy weight tied to your ankles, risking the payoff that is already yours by cosmic right. You cannot afford to run this race blindfolded anymore. Every single delay is compounding, and the energetic toll on your body is becoming too heavy to ignore. Do not wait for the resistance to win. The digital book is in the first pinned comment. Download it now while this word is still alive in you. Claim the absolute energetic shielding that only this map can fully provide for your breakthrough. Take a deep breath and visualize that invisible wall of thorns once again. It only pricks you because you are so incredibly close to the treasure. The heaviness you feel in your chest is not the end of your journey, but the final test of your energetic boundaries. When you finally release that pressure, your chest will open, and the gold that has been waiting for you will finally cross the threshold. You are no longer fighting the thorns blindly. You are preparing to walk right through them, fully protected, leaving the silent saboteurs behind. And as I told you earlier, Virgo, besides the digital book that is in the first pinned comment, there is that open voluntary donation link right below the book. I still do not receive a single penny for each message that leaves here for you. That is why this link exists, so that another Virgo tomorrow finds exactly this message that found you today. Any amount that your heart points to. Every such gesture keeps our channel standing and makes the next message reach whoever needs it, exactly as it reached you today. What is acting against you has a form, and it has a deadline. And now, with the path laid out before you, the name descends. You have spent years trying to find a logical explanation for why things freeze at the 11th hour. But what is acting against you is not a coincidence. It is not an endless string of bad luck. It is not your own inadequacy or a lack of effort. It is the threshold of the unseen siege. This is the precise energetic phenomenon where the invisible wall of envy thickens specifically because your biggest payoff is about to cross the threshold. The siege does not waste energy on those who are failing. It only concentrates its heavy gaze on the light that is about to outshine it. The resistance you are feeling right now, that sudden exhaustion, those last-minute delays, is the ultimate proof that a tangible, massive victory is finally arriving at your door. The universe is forcing the payoff now, and that is exactly why the unseen resistance has become so aggressively heavy. Imagine an ancient, deeply buried root system that silently holds up an entire massive oak tree during a violent, relentless storm. Nobody sees the roots. Everyone praises the branches, admiring how they sway and survive, but it is the roots that take all the pressure. They absorb the shock, they grip the earth, and they hold everything together in the dark. You have been that root system, Virgo. You have been holding everything together in the dark, absorbing the shockwaves of other people's chaos, managing the crises that no one else wanted to touch, and silently carrying the heavy expectations of everyone around you. But right when the tree is about to bear its most magnificent fruit, right when the harvest is due, the soil gets unbearably heavy. The unseen envy senses the impending reward, and tries to suffocate the roots before they can drink the water. This is exactly where you are right now, Virgo. But the root is about to break through the surface, and the pressure you feel is not the earth crushing you. It is the sheer force of your own breakthrough cracking the heavy soil wide open. I have watched you carry the weight of everyone else's unearned luck while you waited patiently for your own turn. I saw you swallow your excitement and hide your good news because the room felt suddenly cold. You thought your silence would protect you, but I am telling you now that the time for hiding is over. The harvest is yours by right, and the siege is breaking today. There is a man who carried this exact same invisible siege for years. He built everything flawlessly, but every single promotion, every single breakthrough was snatched away or delayed at the last minute by strange circumstances. He thought he was cursed. And then, he stopped blaming his own efforts and learned to shield his energy before taking the final step. What changed in him wasn't his work ethic, but his spiritual boundaries. He stopped letting the unseen envy drain his harvest, and the very next door he opened remained permanently unlocked. You are still processing this right now, feeling that undeniable shiver of recognition on the back of your neck as your body finally understands the weight it has been carrying. The deepest truth is still ahead, and it has your name. Now that the mechanism of this unseen siege has been exposed, the true revelation is understanding exactly who you have had to become in order to survive it. Because you didn't just passively endure this heavy energy, you adapted, you shielded others, and you took the brunt of the spiritual exhaustion so that everything around you wouldn't collapse. The universe sees the roles you have been forced to play in the dark. You became the silenced builder, the one who learned to work entirely in the shadows just to avoid the evil eye. Virgo works, Virgo perfects. Virgo creates masterpieces in absolute silence, deliberately hiding the magnitude of their effort, because you realized that every time you showed your true potential, the energy in the room immediately shifted and grew heavy. You started believing that your brilliance was a burden to others, swallowing your own pride and dulling your own shine just to keep the peace, accepting a fraction of what you truly deserved. And in doing so, you were transformed into the exhausted anchor, the one who carries the weight of everyone else's unearned luck. Virgo sustains. Virgo absorbs the shock. Virgo does not ask for help. You have spent years catching the falling pieces of other people's disorganized lives, managing their crises while your own dreams were put on hold. Your deepest vulnerability is that you convinced yourself that this crushing, bone-deep fatigue is simply the normal price of being reliable, accepting the energetic drain of others as if it were your permanent, unchangeable duty. But the universe is finally stripping away those heavy, sacrificial roles to reveal the crowned architect, who finally steps into the light completely shielded. You are no longer meant to just hold the foundation in the dark for others to shine. You are meant to build the empire and sit at its center, entirely untouchable by the unspoken jealousy of those who couldn't match your dedication. Notice your chest right now. Take a deep breath and feel that deep, expanding heat rising in your lungs. This heat has a name, and it is the exact frequency of your true energetic signature, finally breaking through the heavy mud of the siege. You are all three of these archetypes, but the time for silence and exhaustion is permanently over. The universe is crowning your efforts today. But this powerful new identity that was just declared over you needs to be actively sustained, because the Virgo who finally knows their own worth without knowing how to block the siege that surrounds them will eventually go back to carrying gazes that are not theirs. It was exactly to sustain the powerful new identity that was just declared over your life today that I found this digital book called The Great Secret Behind the Spiritual Envy Against Virgo. It is already waiting for you in the first pinned comment. This is the blueprint for your absolute energetic defense, giving you the exact tools to maintain your new position without being drained. Do not wait for the heavy gaze to return before you learn how to protect the truth you just claimed. Click now, download your copy, and seal the perimeter around your energy, ensuring that this new chapter begins with an impenetrable shield that no hidden envy can ever pierce again. I promised I would return to this, because now that you know exactly who you are and what is happening, you need to know how this energetic cycle will try to pull you back under, because it will try. I told you that this energetic cycle would try to pull you back under. The moment you claim your new identity and stand tall, the unseen siege will immediately test your boundaries, probing to see if you are truly ready to hold your ground. But this time, Virgo, you will see it coming. There are 3 specific ways this heavy energy will try to infiltrate your life in the coming days, and I am going to give you the exact weapons to dismantle them. The first way this siege will try to return is through the doubt that sounds exactly like your own voice. For some of you, this happens in the dead of night, when you are lying in bed and suddenly start questioning every good decision you made that week, wondering if you are simply an imposter waiting to be exposed. When that heavy artificial anxiety hits your chest, you must recognize that it is not your natural thought process. It is an energetic projection sent to keep you small. The weapon for this is immediate and verbal. The moment you feel this creeping doubt, I want you to stop, take a deep breath, and speak out loud. This fear is not mine, I return it. You do not negotiate with the anxiety, you do not analyze it, you simply return it to the sender. The second attempt will come disguised as a bitter compliment from a familiar face. You know the exact tone I am talking about. Someone close to you will praise your recent progress, but their voice will carry a subtle, sharp edge, a micro-expression of deep resentment that instantly makes your stomach drop and drains your energy. They want you to shrink. They want you to apologize for doing well and make yourself smaller to comfort their insecurities. The weapon here is physical and internal. Do not shrink and do not confront them. Instead, smile silently. Physically cross your ankles to immediately close your energetic field and say internally, "My light remains sealed." You accept their words, but you completely block their heavy energy from entering your space. The third test is the sudden, overwhelming urge to cancel a big step right before you take it. You will have the contract ready, the project perfectly finished, or the crucial message typed out, and a wave of paralyzing exhaustion will tell you to just leave it for tomorrow. That is the siege desperately trying to push you past the cosmic window of your payoff. The weapon for this requires action. When that paralyzing weight drops on your shoulders, light a white candle to cut the dense atmosphere in the room and declare with absolute authority, "I claim what is already paid for." You force the stagnant energy to move, and the path clears instantly. These 3 weapons protect you from what I managed to show you today, but the cycle has more layers than can fit in one video. The unseen envy will adapt, and you need to be prepared when the praise sounds just a little too hollow, when the next big opportunity stalls for no logical reason, when that familiar heavy exhaustion hits you after a simple conversation. It was to map out the rest of this hidden battlefield that I found this digital book called The Great Secret Behind the Spiritual Envy Against Virgo. It is already waiting for you in the first pinned comment. This is the complete blueprint of the spiritual protection you need, so this unseen siege never delays you again. I am not rushing you. I am warning you. Do not wait for the invisible wall to rise again before you memorize this blueprint. This soft cosmic window is open right now, offering you the exact knowledge to keep your field permanently clear. Click the link now and download your copy. But right now, I need you to stop learning for a moment and start feeling. I need you to completely stop everything you are doing right now. Lower your guard. The heavy armor you have been wearing to survive this hidden battlefield has done its job, but you do not need it in this exact moment. Let go of the need to control the outcome. Drop your shoulders, relax the tension in your jaw, take one slow, deliberate breath, and let it out. You have spent so much time bracing for the next delay, the next sudden obstacle, the next unexplainable wave of fatigue that your body has forgotten what it feels like to just exist without resistance. I want you to close your eyes if you can, and just listen to the resonance of this truth settling into your chest. Let the undeniable reality of this moment wash over you. I want you to imagine those thick, dark, invisible threads attached to your shoulders, your back, and your ankles. These are the cords of unseen envy, the silent, heavy gazes and unspoken jealousy that have been pulling you down just as you try to step forward and claim what is yours. They have kept you anchored in a perpetual state of exhaustion, forcing you to drag a spiritual weight that was never yours to bear. But they only had power because they were invisible. Now, visualize a sharp, brilliant silver light forming directly in your hands. Feel its absolute clarity, its undeniable warmth, and its supreme authority. With one decisive, sweeping motion, you bring that light down, slicing cleanly through every single thread. Hear them snap. Feel the immediate, sudden release of pressure from your neck and spine. Notice how your lungs instantly expand and your chest opens up. The energetic field around you is finally completely clear. The heavy fog is lifting, and the path to your massive payoff is wide open. Release the suffocating weight of those heavy, jealous gazes that tried to keep you small and quiet. Release the deep, irrational guilt you felt for simply wanting to shine and receive your well-deserved reward. Release the exhausting daily need to hide your victories and swallow your joy just to keep the atmosphere in the room comfortable for everyone else. Release every relationship, every connection, and every environment that only wanted you around as long as you remained anchored, useful, and exhausted. You are completely shedding the skin of the silenced builder, the one who works flawlessly in the shadows out of fear of the evil eye. Your masterpiece is ready for the blinding light. You are permanently retiring the role of the exhausted anchor, the one forced to carry the weight of everyone else's unearned luck. Your precious energy belongs entirely and exclusively to you now. You are stepping fully and safely into the undeniable frequency of the crowned architect, finally taking your rightful place at the center of your empire, completely shielded, wildly successful, and absolutely untouchable by the unseen envy of those who refuse to build alongside you. You are still processing this right now, feeling that undeniable shiver of recognition on the back of your neck as your body finally understands that the heavy burden has been cut. Before we seal this completely, write down below the name of someone you are carrying with you through this crossing. Or, if this is purely for you, write in one sentence what you are expecting the universe to give back to you. I will read it, and you will not be writing this alone. Do not release this energy yet. We are not finished. Stay with me. I seal the foundation of your home against any invisible siege. I seal the purity of your quiet, flawless effort against the heavy gaze of unspoken jealousy. I seal the massive payoff that is crossing your threshold today, making it permanently untouchable. I heard every time you called yourself unlucky, every time you looked at the finish line and watched your most flawless efforts freeze without explanation. You thought I was punishing you. You thought I was testing your endurance, demanding that you push your physical limits just to receive the bare minimum of what you were promised. But I have watched you carry the weight of everyone else's unearned luck while you waited patiently for your own turn. I saw you swallow your excitement and hide your good news because the room felt suddenly cold. You thought your silence would protect you, but I am telling you now that the time for hiding is over. The harvest is yours by right, and the siege is breaking today. I saw you wake up with that bone-crushing fatigue on the exact days you were meant to take a massive leap forward. That was not your weakness. It was the sheer force of the envy you were fighting blindly. You absorbed the strange heaviness after every 3 p.m. coffee, taking in the poison of bitter smiles and polite praises that carried unspoken resentment. You do not have to be the silent root system holding up everyone else's chaotic branches anymore. I am lifting the invisible wall of thorns that you have been bleeding against for years. The delay was never my rejection. It was my way of holding the door shut until you finally learned to shield the immense light you carry. The payoff you have been waiting for is no longer delayed. It is not stuck behind a bureaucratic glitch, and it is no longer vulnerable to the sudden technical failures of the past. The path is clear, the heavy energy has been returned, and what is crossing your threshold today will never slip through your fingers again. The doubt that sounds exactly like your own voice ends right here. The bitter compliment that drains your energy ends right here. The sudden urge to cancel your biggest step forward ends right here. Virgo has never been cold. Virgo is not envied for being demanding. Virgo is envied for quietly delivering what others only promise out loud. Don't let go yet. The universe has just told you. I saw you swallow your excitement and hide your good news because the room felt suddenly cold. And that is exactly why I need to remind you of something before sealing. What was cut here is real. But tomorrow morning, the world will try to convince you that nothing has changed. You must be prepared for that heavy, jealous gaze that will try to latch onto your back again tomorrow morning. If you step back into your routine without locking the door behind you, the siege will simply adapt. That is why the companion of your protection, the great secret, behind the spiritual envy against Virgo, is waiting for you in the first pinned comment. This is the exact tool to sustain the heavy armor we just forged in this crossing, so your payoff remains untouchable tomorrow. Do not wait for tomorrow's tests to break the energetic seal you have established today. Click the link right now and download your digital book to keep your perimeter permanently secure. There are thousands of Virgos listening to this right now in the exact same silence as you, feeling the exact same weight lifting from their shoulders. You are part of a silent wave of awakening. If this voice found you today, subscribe to the channel, not for a number, but because the next message of this series is going to look specifically for those who have already crossed this first door. In the next video of this series, I'm going to show you the exact sign that appears 3 days before a spiritual siege breaks, and why almost every Virgo completely ignores it. Do not miss it. And still in this video, Virgo, before I seal this hour with you, I come back one last time to this request. You have walked with me this far, you have crossed every word, every revelation, every sign. And if at any moment of this message you felt the universe touch you, you know this video was not an accident. The voluntary donation link remains open in the first pinned comment, right below the digital book. Not as a charge, not as an exchange, but as a giving back from the one who received to the source this message came from. Any amount your heart points to, and the universe sees every gesture. The universe sees, and the universe multiplies over your home, over your days, over what you don't even know is about to arrive. This was my last request. I'll be waiting for you there. Thank you so much. And when the heavy gaze tries to return, remember that the answer has a name, the great secret of spiritual envy, and it is already within your reach. The invisible wall of thorns that grew so thick right in front of your treasure has been burned to the ground, proving exactly how close your victory truly is. The gold is finally crossing your threshold. Now, you can let go. This message is complete. What was seen was seen. What was cut was cut. Walk light, Virgo.